You know, in fall of 2019, when we decided to revamp the team, we strongly felt that Owen was the perfect young talent to build the team around.
I was a little bit confused at first. I couldn't really see if it was a joke or not. There was like 50 messages. What are they talking about? They're saying like we don't have a player and stuff like that.
I got a phone call from Christian Config screaming at me that Owen's left and he's at the airport.
Let's just call a spade a spade. 2020 has been really difficult. We built this team to train at our headquarters in Dallas and spent a lot of money and time and effort building out the best infrastructure in global esports anywhere. And the goal was to train a Counter-Strike team here.
Due to the world situation like COVID and the fact that we're a European-based team and we've been out in Europe for now almost 6 or 7 months, it was unfair on Matt.
Matt, you know, has a wife and is looking to really build out a family. So living in Europe for months and months on end wasn't probably the best solution for him. So, you know, it was a sad day for both of us.
It was a big blow to see him go, but at the same time, I think it's a good move for him. He's been at Complexity for a while, and with the team going EU-based and the situation with Corona, I kind of think it was getting a bit too much for him and he needed to have a break. So I think it's a good thing for him, and I'm just kind of happy how he helped us get to where we are pretty much.
Matt and I have been teammates and gaming family for 17 years or so, 16 years. I want what's best for Matt and his family and wish them the absolute best fortunes moving on. And I'm gonna miss him, but you know, sometimes these things happen, and you know, we wish him the best moving forward.
I've been in London for a little over a month now, I think. The days are definitely already starting to blur together a bit and feel a lot the same. It's also good because we have a lot of things to play for right now, a lot of tournaments, so a lot of practice, and days go by faster that way when you have things to actually do. So we played in 3 tournaments so far, 2 which are finished, and that's DreamHack and Cologne.
And Alexis B finding another kill, 3 being picked up, and it's on Poison to deliver death onto 3, and he's got a second.
DreamHack Summer, it was a good event for us up until the semis. Heroic was our toughest opponent. We ran Overpass third map. It was a game that we should have won. I think we were up 14-12 or something like that.
How has this all gone so wrong? Heroic, they've got a full buy, everything you could want.
It's very unfortunate that we fell into the trap a few times, and overall it was a pretty poor game from us, but we learned a lot from it. And yeah, it sucks we couldn't make it to the final there.
And Cadian keeps going, 3 kills on the hold, and he could be sending Complexity back in here, the in-game leader.
And the second event we played in was Cologne. Also a decent event for us, but didn't make it as far as we hoped.
Only Rush now in the 1v3. They're in the site, but no one's on the bomb yet. Rush trying to hold on. Oh, he's got them all! Rush!
Yeah, lost to Heroic again, unfortunately. They kind of, I guess, have our number now, but they are ranked number 2 in the world right now. They won Cologne, so yeah, they deserved to win in that particular day, even though we could have won it as well. Right now we're playing in ESL Pro League, and we're doing pretty well right now. We're actually 4-0 in maps. Granted, 3 of those maps have been pretty close.
Okay, the first match we played in EPL was against Astralis, and I think it was 2 overtimes or something, and it was Train and Dust 2.
The attacks through Ivy and Dupree, he's waiting. Wow. How did they predict that so perfectly? Wow. This is a systematic decimation of a pistol round.
We weren't really expecting to win on Train. They're a really good Train team and they know how to play the right rotations and stuff. But we managed somehow to win some clutches and some crucial rounds, and Benya had some good calls.
Oh, Poison's just found 2 with the scouting, very quick succession, through one another even. Device and Glaive, is it really overtime with only pistols?
I hope that it will look different without the overtimes, because I hate playing overtimes. It's so stressful to play since you don't know what they're going to do in the overtime, and you don't know how they're going to play because people always play a little bit different in overtimes.
Complexity are looking to do it in the exact same way that they did it on Train, and now they've brought up the Dak. They're going to give Astralis a taste of medicine. So much more damage
Savage Rush and Blame both combining.
Matchup against NiP was fairly decent for us. We like playing against them. We've played against them before.
Through the flames. Oh, that's insane. Plopsky does lose a great deal of health, and Poison's not missing much at all. Maybe another one before he goes down. They finally knock him off his perch, but the damage is done.
Yeah, the Nuke game, we had a nice comeback, so I was proud of our team, us for having a good game on Nuke.
Into his domain. That's the first and the second. No way! Obo delivers an ace clutch.
The Spirit game was kind of weird because they play a weird Counter-Strike in my opinion. It's their style, of course. I don't want to take anything away from them.
Oh, Rush, you're about to get overwhelmed here. Magic already takes down the first. The pre-fly was great from Rush. Oh, look at him go. A quick triple.
On Overpass, we beat them easily, and then on Nuke, we got our asses kicked, and we had some really, really close rounds.
That was one that we should have won, honestly. We lost some dumb rounds, and it's a map that we've been really strong on lately.
Oh, but it's everything you want. How did he get the third? Oh, my God. Blame F.
I think it was pretty hard for us to play against that game style that they had. It was just an hectic game on Nuke, but we managed to win Mirage, so it was a 2-1 for us.
Yeah, Fnatic was one of the harder matches we're going to have. In this matchup, it was kind of similar to Spirit in the fact that on Nuke, we lost in overtime after winning the first map 16-4, which was pretty one-sided.
No flashes for Fnatic, and Cole are going to pop their way back into the spawn. Do they have the right timing? Yes. Golden caught out in the open. Brolin rather dead. Flash is still tucked to the spawn. They don't realize Poison going to run him down, but Crims will cover him, keeping this kit and smoke active for now. But everyone else is falling like flies. JW dinked out, Obo with a double towards the spawn, and he finds 3 in the round.
We had a really, really insane CT side, and I played pretty well on that map, and then we went on to Nuke, and it went in overtime.
I think we're down 13-5, so the fact that we made that comeback to overtime was really strong. But lagged out around the 16-18 round. It was a 4v3 for us.
Rush, is he lagged out? I think he might have. Yeah, he's gone, mate. So it's all on to Config. This was a 1v3 when it began. 1v2 now, Config.
Despite that, we knew that Vertigo was a map that we play a lot and they don't play that often. They almost came back in the end, which is, it also got scary. Once again, we like to make it scary for ourselves and make it nervous on ourselves, but we ended up closing out like 16-13. It was good to beat Flusha and Golden again.
Then we played against Mousebots in EPL. They picked Nuke, which we didn't expect at all because we thought that it was still one of our comfort maps.
So many small elements just about being held on by the T's, but finally they're all in the right place, and Rox isn't going to miss that. 10 seconds now. Config can't do it.
After we played that and lost in overtime, we went on Mirage and we got our asses kicked on T-side. We only got 3 or 4 rounds or something. If we won Nuke and lost Mirage and on Dust 2, I think we could have pulled it home.
The 16-9 scoreline. Blame still desperately trying to change the dialogue. Doesn't have a kit, and Bemis confirms it.
Vitality obviously has been really strong. They've beaten us in the past. We've beaten them in the past. It's pretty back and forth with them.
It looks pretty good when we play against Vitality because we usually win against them, and we did that again this time.
Config with a quick opener. And now trying to lay down the pain from the decon. He's in with another knife out. Oh, got flashbacks. Config with the knife onto ZywOo.
Jamie and Anton and BlameF, they made a really, really good gameplay, and that we knew exactly what we were supposed to do in the certain rounds that was being called by BlameF. And that was basically why we won Vertigo.
RPK, he falls short. Masuta now left in the clutch. A 1v3, and Obo puts him down. It's Complexity taking this series 2-0 and locking themselves into playoffs as a guarantee while they do it. That's quite the achievement here for Cole. They feel good, we feel good, and that's a Complexity that is looking to do damage.
So London, I was sent to make sure that basically Owen was okay, try to make sure that he was okay and check in with him and make sure that he wasn't doing too poorly, too stressed or things like that. And then to help without a full-time manager for the team, just to help out Jamie and Soren back in Complexity, sort of like relay any information from Cole to the guys. We had gone out to dinner with Jamie and Will and Owen had brought up that he was getting a little overwhelmed.
We came for dinner the day before and Owen kind of expressed his concerns that he basically said that he's planning to leave after Pro League. It hurt, but it was a totally understandable decision. because he has been away from home for a while. The future was uncertain. We didn't know how much longer he'd stay in Europe.
We accepted, we agreed, we're like, okay, cool. So then I ping him later that night to ask him what dates he would be comfortable with to go back. Immediately after EPL, I think he said, and then he just said we had 1 week. So then, I told Lake and I told Soren and Beef, everybody, sort of that needed to know. That was what I went to sleep thinking, was 1 week, and the team thought.
I felt bad for the team, but I felt sympathetic for him, and I understood his decision, and I totally respected how he was being honest, and he was saying, hey, we're gonna give you some time. But the truth is, the next morning at 7 a.m, I got a phone call from Christian Config screaming at me that Owen's left and he's at the airport, and I'm just confused, and I'm telling him, what are you on about, Christian?
I was a little bit confused at first. I couldn't really see if it was a joke or not, because I woke up and I saw that there was 50 messages or something in the group chat. What are they talking about? They're saying we don't have a player and stuff like that. I was just scrolling up to see what was happened, and then I saw a message from Owen saying that he left the team and he's not gonna play with us today, even though we had a really important tournament that day.
So I call him and I was like, hey man, are you okay? Are you alone? Blah blah blah. And he was like, yeah man, I'm at the airport. I'm about to go back and all this stuff. And I was like, dude, I really don't like that. I'm worried about your safety. Are you able to come back and we can get you a flight and maybe I can go with you, take care of it and blah blah blah. And he was like, nah, I'm all set. I already talked to Lake.
I received a call 1:30 in the morning, Dallas time, and Owen let me know that he was at the airport and his flight was in 2 hours. We discussed options and I encouraged him to try to stay the additional 2 weeks to finish the playoffs. And he decided to return home. It's a difficult situation. He really toughed it out for a lot of months, and we're very grateful for that.
He did the right thing for himself, but I think he did it the wrong way. He just left with 0 to no notice. And I think it kind of caught everyone off guard that he chose the decision to just leave.
It was kind of a shock to all of us, because he never really said to us hey, I can't really handle this, or hey, I want to go home, or hey, this is really, I'm struggling here, I need something to help me get through this, maybe a week break, go back to my family. He never said anything, he just left on a whim.
Have you talked to him since?
I have not spoken to him since, and I don't plan to, honestly, because I lost a lot of respect for him. I gained a lot of respect for him for making it this far, but I would never think about doing that. It's easy to say that because I'm not in his shoes, I'm not 17, but for me, it would seem like a dream to be doing what I'm doing now.
Owen's departure left us, quite frankly, in a really difficult situation.
It's just unlucky timing for us, because we could have potentially qualified for, gotten some RMR points.
Pretty much just accepted that we had to play with a stand-in, and the only stand-in we were allowed to play with was a coach.
So it's Saw, of course, going up against Complexity, who, by the way, are oboe-less. Keto, the coach, has to jump in.
So I just used the next 2 hours or whatever it was to try to teach him some strats and try to teach him some smokes and help him a little bit in some of the positions he was gonna play.
This might just be it. I think it is done.
Yep, certainly looks that way. All on to Keita. They're already leaving the server. He jumps through the smoke backwards.
Knife out backwards.
We gave it our all, but we lost the 2 teams that we should always beat probably with our full roster. And we lost the RMR tournament instantly, which is brutal.
I think we had a few days to submit a roster lock for New York. And I think NATO's agent reached out that he's available to stand in.
We're gonna have a new guy, a Danish guy. People know him already. He's been playing in Heroic and in Nordavind, and his name is Nato Safix.
There was a lot of restrictions we could get and all that, so it wasn't we couldn't just get any player. If they were playing in a team, or if they were planning on playing a team, then they wouldn't not be able to play with us. I think we had 3 practice days before, something like that, so we had some practice days with him, because he could just come in the next day pretty much.
Very thankful to NATO for stepping in and playing for us. It was just kind of a breath of fresh air during a really difficult time, and I think given the circumstances, he played incredibly well. and we're very thankful for his efforts.
I just want to say thank you to Naoto for stepping in within such a short notice. It's honestly not easy coming in and playing a new team, especially not with only a couple of days' notice.
I think in the future the team's like, it looks like for now anyway that we're staying in Europe and we're competing in Europe, which is the heart of Counter-Strike, which is I think great for us. We know exactly what type of fifth player we want to get.
You know, when we went into the process for seeking a new fifth player, we actually had team meetings, and then we asked BlameF to put together a list independently of our coach, Jamie, and then we could compare those lists. JKS was, let's just say, extremely high. Number one, really.
My name is Justin JKS Savage. I came into Complexity replacing Obo. I think I have pretty big shoes to fill, but hopefully once I get to Europe and start playing with the guys, hopefully it'll be like a seamless transition. I'm pretty excited to go to Europe and start practicing the best teams. It's something I've wanted to do for a while now, so it's actually quite nice that it's happening. I think it'll be a bit of a challenge in the start, but yeah, I'm ready for it.
Losing Owen was very difficult for the team. It was demoralizing, it was disheartening, but to have a player of JKS's caliber step into that role has completely reinvigorated us. And it'll take some time for the team to get in practice and learn how to play together. These things always take time, but with the arrival of JKS, our spirits are renewed. And I just want you to know we're more excited than ever about what this team's going to be providing our fans. We try to put this show together for you as a way to give you a transparent behind-the-scenes look at what we're really doing because we care. Thank you very much from everyone at Complexity. You know, it's been a tough year, but I promise you this, we're gonna keep fighting.